Okay, David Stone's one of my favorite guys, an incredible leader. Welcome, David, please.
I'll manage somehow.
You want it?
No, it's okay. Use that. Thank you very much. Something that some of you may not know is that about 5 years ago, I presented my work publicly for the first time behind this microphone. So a huge thank you to Stan and to everybody here at Open Mic. Over the next 3 months, I've got 6 feature poet gigs happening, including June 27th Art Bar in Toronto, which is one of the Massey Halls of Poetry in Canada, and August 24th Couplets right here in London, where I'll be an anchor poet paired with a great poet, Ryan Gibbs. So hats off again to this wonderful venue. I keep coming back as much as anything for sentimental reasons, because this is where I started when I retired from business. I'm going to do 2 poems tonight. Last time I was here, I did a poem called End Stop, which is dedicated to Emily Dickinson, and the pages got stuck together, and it bothered me for a whole freaking month. So today I'm going to do it as a continuous whole, a holistic poem. I saw the great movie A Quiet Passion, and I adore Emily Dickinson. Frankly, I think she was a genius, and her random use of uppercase nouns and her end stop lines and enjambment lines are quite fascinating, if not a hint of her mental issues. But so this is a poem called End Stop. It's for Emily Dickinson, and the pages here are wonderfully separated and shall remain so during the course of this poem. End Stop. She sees the world as through a wasp wing, a papery translucence of yellowed image that just tumbles out in some free fall joyous rage, as if all those nouns with their swollen letters just need to find a page and dig their trenches in lines and jammed and fettered by a logic only God can understand. She writes as a church window might transcribe the light, might permit in measured tones the violation of shadow. Again with those yawning letters emitting a pain that numbs, yet gilds as well her yearning thrones of language in a treasured gold. And she bleeds. Oh, how she bleeds behind that wasp wing and the sepia sweep of its veined curtain, behind the door so close to eternity. In the warp and swagger of her pouting letters, in the rage of her page, in the shadow of her meaning, our dearest Emily bleeds her way through the sagging valleys of our discontent toward that neon end stop station of her final line.
Oh my
God. This is a new poem. I mentioned as a little advertisement, I am doing couplets here in London, August 24th. Come out. It's a great series. Andy Verboom, I think he's no longer here, but he's the coordinator and founder of Couplets, and I think it's going to be a great night. I had my first session with Ryan this afternoon as we're mapping out the way we're going to play off each other. I wrote him a note a few weeks ago, and I said, let's get together soon. I like things nailed, like railway lines, rural crucifixions, and caskets. I don't know why. I was on my second bottle of wine when I wrote that. But the next day I wrote this poem, which is called Nails. And I wrote it because I wrote that line, and it stuck in my mind that nails play an important part in our lives. Nails. There are the nails that bind our houses with their iron thread, that sew us together with their rusty rivers of trust behind our steel gray walls. And there are the nails of the rail yards, the coolie spikes that divide and join with the vast disinterest of clouds, soundlessly drifting over meadows before the prisms of our indecision. My mother's knitting needles were likewise a form of nails, flashing with a metallic insolence that could within themselves register within me such a confused and fierce love, and yet a certain bleeding. And later, of course, there are the caskets, where the nails are so final, solid, hammered endings, driven home like rivets to still our longing. And I suppose there are also the classic nails of rain, and the nails we pound with our fists, and the nails we insert into parcel bombs, and the nails we pass through wrists. As a poet, I was not sent here to be lovely. Perhaps my role is just to proclaim, maybe it's true, that poems are just nails sometimes. We drive through truth to expose the stain.
Oh my God. Okay, David Stone's like, oh my God. We could all learn a lot from you about how to read, because you read so beautifully. Thank you. That was just, and I didn't know that you started here 5 years ago. Seriously? You came, this is like you came here and you read, and now you come every month. I know. That you were always here. Don't you have anything else to do? Like, don't you have any friends? Are you married? Like what? Okay, just kidding. Just kidding.
I have no social life.
No, but David, I didn't realize you started here reading, and you've been a fabulous supporter. Well, thank you, David.